Okay, and I have a bit of an advertisement first, is that I just put something in the in the list of BOFs for a ham radio BOF. It's mainly because I just passed my exam like a few weeks ago. So if anyone, thank you. Anyone wants to talk radios, come see me during one of the breaks. So so I guess to go along with what Dave said, you can also tell from my accent that I'm not from around here either. So anyone that's American, raise your hand. Okay. So keep them raised. Anyone that's had no idea what the temperature is here since you came into the country, keep your hands raised. So it turns out that the Canadians, they have different they keep the temperatures differently here. They say %C, which, if they're too polite, they say that it's Celsius, but they're too polite. They're Canadian degrees. And you can see that, we know that Canada's colder than the United States, but these numbers are like, it felt warmer than 23 in Toronto, didn't it? So what's up with that? And I will say that everyone that thinks in Canadian degrees, they're just as confused when they come to the United States. And it's difficult, right? Because lots of the other units, you can kind of do them in your head, right? Like a kilometer is about 6/10 of a mile, and a meter is about 3 feet. Liter is about a quart, 100 grams is about a quarter of a pound, right? But, it's harder for these Canadian degrees, right? Because, suppose you want to convert Canadian degrees to, freedom degrees, right? So, it's not a simple conversion. You've got this fraction, and then, no one wants to deal with fractions, right? It's because your worst memories from middle school math, and you've got to add something to it, but still, you think, okay, well, 9/5, that's 1.8. You can kind of deal with that. But then you see, if you want to convert from freedom degrees up back to Canadian degrees, then you got that 5/9 thing, and what's going on with that? How can you do this? And I will say that you want to be able to do this in your head, because obviously computers can do it, but you see things like that map, and where it's coming up in television, you just want to talk to people and talk in the same language. You would like to be able to do at least get close enough in your head, right? And you see charts like this. I don't even know what's going on with that. Why is there no, it would be nice if there was something over there. Why is there not anything over there? Right, so that's not super helpful either. Okay, now we're gonna go back to I guess also maybe middle school pre-calc. Remember, this is the equation of a line, right? And that m is the slope and the b is the y-intercept, right? We all remember this kind of from pre-calc, right? Okay. Okay, so let's look at this formula again to convert from Canadian degrees to freedom degrees. That's a slope, and that's the y-intercept. And so that means that for every 5 degrees, so you're going to start at 32, 0 Canadian is 32 freedom, and then for every 5 degrees in Canadian, it's going to go 9 degrees in freedom degrees. And so it turns out for every 5 degrees, it kind of lines up. So if you think of every 5 degrees in Canadian, it goes up 9. And if you just remember those, then you can kind of do it in your head, and you can get within 2 or 3 degrees, and it's close enough, right? So this is how I do it in my head. So here's a chart, and that looks of every 5 degrees in Canadian going to freedom degrees, and it looks like a lot, but really, especially we're going to be here in the summer, we're only going to be in that range. You only have to remember 5 different conversions, and even if you go one more up, it's nice that 10 and 50 are the same, and it kind of lines up. But I just remember 10 is 50. I can add 9 pretty easily in my head. And basically, I've memorized the whole right column. And if you do that, you just think about it. You're only ever working in a small range. You can kind of do it in your head. So let's practice. So here's our map from before. 23 in Toronto. What's 23 in Toronto? Well, it's kind of between 68 and 77, right? So it's going to be in the low 70s, right? So 23 Celsius is low 70s in Fahrenheit. I'm sorry, freedom degrees. 25 in Fredericton. I was just in Fredericton last year. It's a really nice town. Well, 25 is easy. That's right on the chart. It's 77. 18 in Victoria. So that's a little chilly. 18, it's like a little less than 68. So it's going to be like, what, maybe 65? All right, 15 degrees in St. John's. So that's way out there in Newfoundland. See, I pronounce it right. Newfoundland. Is that right? Yeah. Everyone, Americans say Newfoundland. It's Newfoundland. That's 59. So it's a little chilly out there. And then the warmest place on the entire map turns out to be Whitehorse, Yukon. That's 32. And so that's pretty warm. So 32 is about 90 in Fahrenheit. So if you just think of this chart and you think of these like 5 degrees Celsius to 9 degree Fahrenheit things, and remember a few kind of key numbers, or just do it in your head, because you can do 50, 59, 68, 77. You can go up by nines, and then that's all you have to do, and then you can kind of estimate the rest of it in your head. That's it. That's how you can convert between Celsius and Fahrenheit and back and forth in your head. So that's it. Thanks.
There's another country that uses freedom degrees. You know what it is? Ooh.
Is it? Oh, is it?
It's the
Is it?
major country. It's Belize.
Belize does.